Hello everybody, this is Stephen Whitfield with Drilling Contractor, and we are here at Corvey HQ in Houston, Texas. This was the site of the IADC Drilling Engineer Committee's Q4 Tech Forum, and with me right now is a man who spoke as part of this forum, Blair of Nabors Industries. He gave a presentation about remote operating centers and some of the things that Nabors has seen in implementing that, and we're going to talk a little bit more about some of that stuff. Really cool things. So, Blair, thank you so much for joining me today.
No, absolutely, my pleasure.
So let's talk first about just sort of the value that remote operating centers provide. Now, you had this whole thing at the beginning of your presentation here at the forum today about, the value from a service provider and an operator and drilling contractor. Now, from a drilling contractor's perspective, we have our audience of drilling contractors out there. What kind of value do remote operating centers provide?
A lot, I would say. I'm obviously biased. I would say there's different verticals, different ways. Reduction of personnel is big, taking people out of harm's way. We're able to utilize and leverage what we have in the remote operations center to remove people from location, but not have any degradation in quality, really. With Nabors, we do a lot with automation, so a lot of automation oversight, implementation, optimization of the automation. A lot of Asians there, but that's essentially what we're doing. So those would be the two main primary ones, and then also training, remote training. We're all over the world essentially, and we've done a lot of training in the Middle East from here. We've done training, we've had drillers in Wyoming, and not having to send people to the field for driller training. So it'd be those three verticals there really, I would say the main primary value drivers are.
Another thing that you brought up in your presentation here today was automation, and sort of how automation fits in with the ROCs. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So really, with automation in the remote operations center, we concentrate on utilization first and then optimization of the automation. So what we're talking about here is recipes, as I said in the presentation. That's the sequence that the automation executes. Recipe validation, attenuation, all of those things really trying to drive performance from a central location while also capturing the wins, the things that are going good on a specific rig, and then sprinkling those to all the rigs in the fleet with the operator, sometimes geographically constrained, but taking the wins, implementing them where they fit, and then also identifying what not to do. Also very important to only have that occur once, capture mitigating factors, how we resolved it, and then ensure that it doesn't happen on other rigs implementing automation.
Interesting that you mentioned wins, so I got to ask about results that you've seen so far in the field. And Nabors has had this. Tell us what you guys have seen with the ROC.
I would say one big one that we're proud of, absolutely, is an operator in North Dakota, up in the Bakken. They kind of came to us and was like, we're not exactly happy with the current state. Absolutely, that's, you have every right not to be. And just compare with offset operators drilling for them, they wanted more. So we really concentrated, optimized our recipes, got together, took best practices from our guys in the field, captured those best practices, put those into recipes for the sequencing of the automation, and then replicated it. And it was real also culture as well, in that we had to inform the drillers, help the drillers understand what the main goal was, implement the automation, and then have the oversight with the automation and the coaching of the drillers. Super important. The drillers are very, very important, and having them aware of what the overall plan was, in that we don't want you to execute tasks. We need you to supervise. We need you to use your knowledge in helping the automation and also overseeing. From an ROC perspective, we were able to take that and then throughout the fleet, throughout this specific implementation, to identify, capture, and then put it to all the rigs for this operator, and essentially doubled lateral ROP just by this implementation. Same BHA, same well profiles, just really fine-tuning the automation, getting everybody rolling in the same direction, rising tide floats all boats, that type stuff. And it was super successful for us, operator super happy, and that's a win we can talk about.
Some real results that we've seen there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Blair, well, thank you so much for taking time to speak with us and our wider audience out there. We appreciate it.
No bother, thanks.
And thank you for visiting drillingcontractor.org.